Hi friends, welcome to Aisha's DIY. Today we will design a necklace using GGC treasure bag. I just assembled most of my items in this paint palette tray. It's a ceramic dish, and then I just pulled out these beads. These beads talked to me, and I combined it, and I really liked the color combination. So I used the English cut hexagon shape bead, and then the roundel in the orange color, and then this elongated rectangle bead, which has this beautiful iridescent orange on one side and white, milky white on the rest of the sides. So this is the pattern I followed. It's so simple. 3 of these beads and then this. I didn't use any spaces whatsoever. I was hoping to use some, but I didn't want to. I just want to keep this purely beads only. And I have this 7-strand bead stringing wire and nylon coated bead stringing wire in this golden color, and this is 0.45 mm thickness. I'm using that, and I tried using the gemstone bead. As you guys can see, just for this I used it, but I like the orange much better, so I just didn't use the gemstones. I used this one and this one plus these beads. So, and I strung all of them, and it counted for only about, say, 14 inches. So I wanted the necklace to be a little bit longer. So what I did was, at the end, after I finished this pattern, then I continued with some tube beads, or what do you call this? It's not coming. Bugle beads, right? So I had this color combination, this yellow and the orange, and then I used it, and then I separated each of these crystals, the roundels and the English cut ones, by these, and then I strung so that I have a little bit more of, a longer necklace. I also wanted to do like a fringe, but this fringe is with Chinese knotting cord and some 6/0 seed beads, followed by these 2 of these the roundels and the English cut beads. So this 6/0 seed beads mix, I have it in my stash. You don't have to use the same thing, but you can use any beads you want, any seed beads you want. 6/0 I had it, so I used it. I can use 8/0s also. It'll go through the 0.8 millimeter Chinese knotting cord that I was using. And this is a brown cord. I don't even know where I kept the spool, but I have some leftovers that around sitting around my desk, so I use those. And I really like this fringe. It's something new, and then we can make a couple of them, and then like you can do it between every other bead, or every set of beads like this you can do. It's up to us to design it. So this is what is coming as a center. So I started here, and then I can do here and then here, and then call it a day, is what I feel. So it's so simple. It's just basic knotting. So I use the, excuse me, sorry, I was sleepy. So this 6/0 seed bead mix is this is John Mead. This is called tangerine mix. Okay, and this is what I used here, and it has that yellow, gold, orange, and then this is transparent on the outside and orange on the inside. So beautiful color combinations. It's again called tangerine mix, and it's by John Bead, I guess. Yeah, johnbead.com. You can find these, I believe, but I'm not so sure. These are some of the older containers. Now they don't come in these containers anymore, it's my belief, but as I said, I'm not so sure. So what I did was, it's so simple. I didn't finish the necklace, as you know. I'm just designing it, and with this knot is easily movable, so you don't have to worry about that. But I want enough space, so I just put a bead stopper at one end and let this go, and then I'm starting to add my tassels. Oh, no, what do you call fringes? Yes. So now I'm just going to go ahead and fold my piece of cord. let me see how much this is. So in the measurements about say 11.5 inches. So you don't need that much for sure. Since I have this piece lying around my desk, I want to use it. So I fold it into half, put it underneath my beading cord, take those two ends, and then make sure you don't catch hold of any beads inside, and do that. Okay, so that's a simple lockside knot. Then take one end of the cord, and one end is already melted here for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thread in an orange bead. Okay, and then take this cord, make a loop, and put the end through the loop. You need tweezers or tweezer nose pliers, anything is fine. I'm just eyeballing it, I'm not measuring it. So just hold it just like that. I put my tweezer nose pliers inside the loop, and then I held the place where I want the knot to be. I take my pliers and then tighten that up just like that. I want a little bit gap. I don't want it to be right next to each other. As you guys can see in this also, there's a lot of gap in between the beads and the knots. So that's one knot, and then continue to buy an yellow bead. I'm using this tangerine mix because this color combination kind of merges with our pattern here, except for the yellow, but I needed the yellow to brighten up things, and I got the idea from this pendant. Actually, I wanted to use this pendant as well in this necklace, but why I didn't use is because I'm doing the fringe. This is a short pendant, it won't look that good, and I don't want to take away the attraction from that pendant, so that's why I didn't use it. And then I added this bead. Again, make yourself a loop, put the end through that loop, okay, and put your tweezers or tweezer nose pliers into that loop and go and hold where you want the knot to be, and then pull it tight, and then still it will be not very tight, and then you can tighten that up like that. Okay, now again, after the yellow, I have these ones, the transparent ones, which is lined with orange. That too, neon orange is very pretty. So I'm just going to use that, and then do a knot again. Do the same, put your tweezer nose pliers inside and hold that part, and then you don't have to worry that like knotting a necklace, because I want that kind of scattered look of the beads. So that's what I'm aiming for. That's why I did that. So now an orange, a plain orange, put two, okay, then go ahead again, make yourself a knot. You can also make it without the tweezers, you can make it with your hands as well. Just make sure that the knot stays where it needs to be, okay. And then so 4 beads, 1 2 3 4, and after that I added one of the orange color roundel. Now one of the seed beads first, so maybe the golden color, I need more seed beads. This container is really great, but only thing is opening and closing is a bit of a pain. So here a golden one, and then the orange roundel. As you guys can see, I have a long strand left still, even after knotting all of these. But so this time, just make sure that it aligns with the other fringe, since we didn't measure anything else. Don't want this to be very long. Yeah, that's about right. So all you need to do now is snip this off. Take your lighter, melt this ends. Okay, so this is what I did there too. So this much is left. Probably, let me see. Hold on. Sorry, I bumped the camera. So I have about, say, 2 inches. Think about 4 inches is left. So from 11.5 inch to think it's 11 inches. If you take away 4 inches, you need 7 inches in total. That would be cutting it close. So you can take 8 inches of cord. That will be sufficient to do this one set. But you can always do the fringe more longer, even shorter. It's up to you. So you don't have to follow the same number of beads. And if you also change the size of the beads, for example, if you use an 8 or 8 beads, then this will change as well. So just keep that in mind. All you need to do is a regular knot after the bead. And as I said, you don't have to use the tweezer nose pliers. You can use your hands to do that as well. See that? Okay. And I start with the yellow. Now I go ahead with the orange. I just wanted it to be asymmetrical. I don't want to be exact. So make sure you leave some gap so that the beads have a spot to actually rest, right? Then again, this is so much fun. I used to think that the combining bead stringing materials are something which we cannot do, but that makes us make stuff very interesting, in my opinion, is what I think, right? This is unique. You won't be able to, I hope you won't be able to buy something like this in a store. So that makes handmade jewelry really valuable, right? So sky's the limit for your imagination and the way you come up with stuff. Here we go. I added a bead and that English cut. And then again, I'm going to make a knot. This time making sure that this one and the other one is almost on the same height. So hold it like that. Okay. And bring it all the way down. See, I put one end of the tweezers inside and I'm pushing that knot towards where I wanted. See, it's almost the same. It doesn't have to be exact, as I said. Approximately the same. Okay. 8 to 10 inches cord. You take it so that you don't struggle with lesser cord to make the knots. So here we go. This is how this tassel looks like. I kind of really like it. So I'm just going to do more. more after that, and then I'm gonna see if I want more between these two or not. So I'll see once I do this and how it looks in the terms of keeping it as a necklace. So I'll come back. So we can use the toggle clasp that we got from the box, which is this guy right here, but I want to use a golden one. I know there is no metal whatsoever here, but still it gives me the vibe of a golden color. So I picked up this clasp from my stash and I'm using this. You can use anything you want. It's in the back of the necklace, it doesn't really matter, but I still decided to use this. Okay, so I have crimp tubes here and this is the one I'm using. So this is not a bead on bead crimp, but I believe this is size 1. I'm using 2 crimp tubes, and then this clasp, the loop in this clasp, come back through both the crimp tubes and hover roundel if possible. Yes, it is. Take your pliers, hold on, sorry I bumped the camera. So just pull this tight and then go ahead and crimp this flat. So you can use a crimping pliers and crimp it that way. I feel that the beadlon crimp is much more easier to crimp with the crimping pliers, and for this crimp that's why I use 2, because I feel this is a little bit heavy, and for this one I feel that flat crimp is the one which holds it nicely. So, and as I mentioned, this is a cord one and it is, see this space right here, if you push it very tightly, let me show you. So it's a fringe, right? So you don't have to be really tight, but at the same time you don't want very loose like this. So you need to push all the beads and find a point wherein you feel comfortable, or you feel that these fringes are laying down nicely. At that point is the one which you are supposed to crimp. So I will remove my bead stopper. This one is bad. So this one is good. I'll take one more. You don't have to have 2 crimp tubes. It's just my paranoia which makes me feel that way. Come back through the crimp tube, and as I said, you will really go tight on this side, because once you did the other side, once you do this side, there's no going back and tightening the necklace. So feel free to check the pattern before you crimp. So this is the only time you can make any adjustments to this necklace. Check the pattern and check the place, the space in between these, and if you find it really good, then go ahead and crimp that. As I said, you always have to keep this necklace in a U format, because that's how it's gonna sit against your neck. And just snip the excess tail off right next to that roundel. So what you can do is just push this a little bit here and push that tail into the bugle if you can. We did that. So our necklace is done and ready. Okay. this is how the necklace looks like. I really like the way this turned out to be. It is a fun necklace. So what I did was I used the English cut, the roundel English cut, then this elongated bead. Did the same pattern through, and then for the back I added some bugle beads in between the crystals and the roundel. I added this kind of a clasp with the crimping tube, and I flat crimped it. And here for the fringe, what I did was in between the English crystal and the elongated beads I added one, between the roundel and the crystal I added one, and one, four in each section in between all of these. And the center things are center fringes are a little bit longer. They have 7 seed beads and 1 crystal in the bottom. The side ones are a little bit shorter. They have 5 seed beads and 1 crystal in the bottom. These are all 6 seed beads in the tangerine mix. This is what I used. So I hope it is clear for you guys. Let me know in the comments below how well you like this necklace, and did you guys make one for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Like this video, share with your friends and family. I do upload videos a couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye. So more the merrier. So I added 3 fringes. Starting we had only one here and one here. Now I added 2 little bit longer fringes in the middle, which I'll show you guys here. See, this is what we had first, right? So now I added fringe between the orange and this crystal bead, 2 fringes, and this one is a slightly longer one. Here we have 1 2 3 4 5 seed beads and 1 crystal. Here we will have 7 seed beads and 1 crystal. It's just I liked it, so I added it. I'll show you guys how I did it the same way, but still I have one more left to add. So here we go. Just insert this and then take these 2 cards and put it through the loop and make sure it lands between the beads properly. And then all you need to do is take your lighter, burn up the edges, make yourself a needle, both the ones, because we need to add some beads. So once that's done, all you need to do is add the beads the similar fashion. Okay, I'm adding yellow. So these are 6 seed beads. You can use any seed bead you want. Hold it. There we go. And I'm using 6080 is an option. If you're using a thinner cord, maybe 0.8. So this is 0.8 millimeter Chinese knotting cord, but if you're using a thinner cord like 0.5 millimeter or so, you can even use 11 seed beads. But I like this chunk, so I am using that. So I'm alternating between the beads. That is to give that, the visual colorful effect. The orange and the yellow, I have a golden seed bead, and then yellow lined orange seed beads. So I'm just mixing all kinds of those in my tassel. So for this long tassel I used about, say, 11-inch cord, and for the shorter one I used about, say, 9 inches. So it's mix or match. It depends on how long you want your fringe to be. So you can make as many as you want. since I have that elongated bead, there is a separation that I can see in this design, but it doesn't have to be restricted to this. You can there's numerous possibilities that can be done. So I'm using a golden color now, and the difference between each bead, the knot, the distance, you can make it right next to the bead. You can leave a little bit of space. That also creates a difference in your product rather than mine, but it totally depends on how you want them to be. It doesn't have to be the same, but I like this crinkled effect, so I'm doing it that way. Okay, see this, and I like that. And finally I'm going to add an orange and the champagne color English cut crystal, and then just gonna check the length. Yeah, I have to do this knot pretty close to my beads is what I believe. The length is also approximate, it doesn't have to be exact, but it should be more or less matching the other one, so just make sure of that. See that? So it should be matching to this one. This one's a little bit longer, so I can reduce. And then this one also I will shorten it up a little bit. That's about say right. Then I will start from here. So I keep the bead stringing wire pretty loose to achieve this. So once I tighten up all the beads, the knots above the locks and knots will tighten up. So don't you worry about that. And I also wanted a rugged look. I want it to be, a perfect one. So I feel the fringe will be nice looking like that. So I just want that. It takes a little bit of a time, but I think the result will be worth it. As I said, I'm using the GGC Treasure Bag, the Golden Harvest Edition, and see, that one is not even tightened. There we go. Then yellow. 1 2 3 4 6 5 and 6 and 7. Okay, so let me see. Hello, and then orange. Okay, just don't want to repeat the colors, just keep it a little bit, you know. You should be able to make an overhand knot with a shorter piece of thread, but if you are not comfortable with, just take a long piece, that's fine. Whichever you are comfortable with is what you need to work with. I'm okay not to waste any more, so then finally an orange bead. The number of fringes also depends upon how heavy you want your work to look. If you want a simpler version, you just add 2 individually here and there. The first time I showed you guys how it looked, you can just stop at that point of time in the middle. That's more than enough. So if you have a little bit of patience and a whole lot of time, then you can do this. I don't, but I really want to have this pattern. See, this cord is pretty short, so I'm finding it difficult to make myself a knot here. I'll do this. Okay, there, I lost it. Just take a deep breath. I can do it, is what I'm thinking. It's pretty short. There we go. I did it. So hopefully it's about the same length. No. Nope, it's not. But once you got the knot, it's easier to actually push it. You know. There we go. Just slowly, steadily pull that cord close. And then hold that. I'm gonna call it a day. That's okay. When it falls down like this, it doesn't matter, is what I'm thinking. Okay, so snip this off. Burn the edges, seal it. It's not smart to use your fingers like what I did. And then I will just string in some of these beads at the end, and I'll come back and show you guys how this looks. Hi friends, welcome back. I created some fringes. I was first thinking only making 2 fringes, but then this more the merrier kind of a thing happened here, and